Hey guys, Dr. J here. This is episode 15 of my Dark Souls Remastered walkthrough series. In this series, I will be defeating all the enemies, collecting all of the items, and talking about the story and lore of the game. In this episode, we are going to explore the Tomb of the Giants. Okay, so I want to start by emphasizing how much I detest this area. Sure, Blighttown was somewhat annoying to explore, but it doesn't compare to the Tomb of the Giants. It's pitch black here, and even with a light source, you can't see far ahead. It's incredibly easy to fall to your death, and the enemies are really tough. So I'll make a few changes. The S-Stock is really bad against the enemies here. We'll still use it, but I'll mostly rely on pyromancies. I'll start by increasing my attunement to 19. You don't have to go that far, 16 is good enough. 4 slots are all we'll need. I'll be using the Great Chaos Fireball and Great Fireball pyromancies, along with our trusty Lightning Spear miracle, of course. I will not be using Power Within in this area. It's simply not needed, not even for the boss. I also kindled the bonfire all the way to the maximum. We're going to use this bonfire several times, and since we're not using the Heal miracle, having 20 Estus Flask charges will help a lot. I also popped all of my humanity, since every point of humanity increases our resistances by around 1 point, which helps with surviving this area. Most importantly, make sure you have a well-upgraded Pyromancy Flame, at least plus 10, and the Great Chaos Fireball and Great Fireball pyromancies. The first you can get by joining the Chaos Servant Covenant, and the second one you can buy from Quelana. This bonfire is warpable, so if you don't have these pyromancies or an upgraded pyromancy flame, you can warp out, get them, and then warp back in. I know this explanation was a bit long-winded, but it's necessary to prepare well for this area. I've also equipped a Ring of Sacrifice, because it's almost certain we'll die trying to get the next 2 items. There is a way to avoid that, but it's not really worth it in my opinion. Okay, let's finally start exploring. First we should climb this ladder, then take the path to the right. It eventually leads to a giant sarcophagus. We should enter it. Inside we'll find several giant skeletons. There are ways to kill them, but you don't really have to. The important thing here is getting the large divine Ember. If you manage to grab the itemized soul as well, all the better, but we don't really need it. Thanks to the Ring of Sacrifice, we'll return to the bonfire without losing anything. Now the actual exploration of the Tomb of the Giants starts. We should head back towards the giant sarcophagus we died in, and we shouldn't forget to re-equip the Ring of the Sun's Firstborn. By the way, the Skull Lantern is the only light source with an added effect. When you use it, you'll see blue markings on certain walls. This can help guide you through the level. As long as you follow them, you'll eventually reach the boss. Anyway, there are a couple of giant skeletons here. The nice thing about Great Chaos Fireball is that a single cast will kill any of the giant skeletons, provided your Pyromancy Flame is at least plus 10. There is another pair of giant skeletons here. The second one didn't die from a single cast, because for some reason it didn't take damage from the lingering lava. That can happen, unfortunately. There is an itemized soul here, and another one if we drop down. After picking it up, we should go back up the ladder again. There are a couple more items we can grab. Now that we are back here, we should go up a couple more ladders. The item in front of us is 3 Eyes of Death. We no longer need them, but we might as well pick them up. Then go up the ladders again and start running up this path. We went up above the sarcophagus we fought Pinwheel, and after picking up the itemized soul, we can use a homeward bone to return to the bonfire. Now we should go up the ladder again and finally meet Patches. Tell him no when he asks if we're a cleric.
What are you doing in the catacombs? Are you a cleric or something? No? Really? Really? Then I'd have no qualms telling you. There's a fine stash of treasure right down that hole. I found it first, but, well, we're friends now, so I'll split it with you. In any case, have a look. It'll shimmer you blind.
Now we'll do as he says.
This is what I do, my friend. The trinkets I'll be stripping off your corpse, that's the real treasure.
You can always rely on Patches to screw you over. After picking up the couple of itemized souls and the skull lantern, we should look for Rhea of Storaland.
You're no hollow, are you? Thank goodness. Please be careful. There are 2 fierce hollows not far from here. They were once brave knights, my former escorts. Who would let such strong spirits be hollowed so? Heavens, is there nothing at all to be done?
She'll ask us to kill her 2 companions who have gone hollow. That's fairly easy, thanks to Great Chaos Fireball. Now that we found them, we just need to keep casting the pyromancy. Eventually, they'll die. And now we'll talk with Rhea again.
You banished those 2 hollows, did you? It pains me to think of the trouble my failings have caused. I am certain that both Vince and Nico are grateful to you. Thank you so very much. Here, these belonged to them. You deserve them more than I.
Now that we've saved her, and after she rewards us with this miracle, she'll move to the altar in the undead church. We'll visit her once we're done here, but for now, we should go up this ramp to pick up a white Titanite chunk. Doing so causes several bone towers to appear. I killed them with the S-Stock, but it would have been better to use pyromancies and the lightning spear miracle. Killing them with the S-Stock takes too long. And to be honest, we don't even need to kill these ones. We could have run past them, but they have a decent chance of dropping white Titanite chunks. In fact, the place we are going now, over here, is the best spot to farm white Titanite chunks. It's very easy to reach from the bonfire, and there are several bone towers here, which, if we use Lightning Spear, can be killed incredibly fast. Anyway, after we deal with them, we should continue forward until we reach a ladder. We should climb it and then destroy this illusory wall, which brings us right next to the bonfire. Now that we've escaped Patches' trap, we should go back to him and have a little talk. We should answer no again if we want to receive an item.
Well, let's just calm down. Talk about things. I did you wrong, but I didn't mean it. These temptations, they can, well, overcome me. You know what I mean, don't you? Please, forgive me. You and me, we're jolly undead outcasts, aren't we? Oh, for heaven's sake, let's not mope about, eh? You're still alive. I said I'm sorry. Wait, I know. Here, take this. It proves something, doesn't it?
After all this, Patches will move to Firelink Shrine near the Catacombs entrance. Next is probably the most difficult part of this area, mostly because of a certain giant skeleton archer. Before we get to him, we need to deal with this new type of giant skeleton here. They're extremely dangerous in melee, but thanks to our pyromancies, we can one-shot them from a distance. Yeah, we're already getting shot at by that archer. Unfortunately, I also aggroed the Black Knight here, and I panicked a little, nearly falling to my death. Thankfully, I barely survived the Black Knight and the giant skeleton, and escaped to a better spot, where I lured them and killed them. I killed the Black Knight by backstabbing him as usual, and I still had to keep dodging the archer's arrows while fighting the Black Knight. Now that he's dead, our path to the giant skeleton archer is clear. Now we can pick up the itemized soul next to him and then drop from the ledge. There is a platform below that's pretty much invisible from here. This is where we find the Covetous silver Serpent ring. Once we pick it up, we'll get trapped by several bone towers again. I decided to tank the damage, since dodge rolling here can easily result in death. Again, the easiest way to deal with them would probably be using the Lightning Spear miracle. We don't have to worry too much about casts. There aren't that many enemies left. Once we kill them all, we'll have to do another blind jump, this time with a couple of giant skeletons waiting for us. So, before we jump, it's best to use the lightning spear to kill at least the first one. The binoculars will help us aim again. Now that he's dead, we should make the jump and deal with the second one. Now that we are here, we're actually almost done with the Tomb of the Giants. First, we should go up this ramp and take 2 lefts. At the end of this path, we'll find the effigy shield. Not only does it have good stats, it also hints at the occult rebellion. After picking it up, we should go back a bit, take a right, and keep going until we reach a bonfire. This is the second bonfire in the area and is relatively close to the boss. I still have plenty of Estus Flask charges, so I'm not going to spend humanity to kindle this one. After resting, we should go back up the path and then take the left path downward. In an alcove to the right, we'll find another white Titanite chunk, and then we should continue following this path until we reach another giant skeleton. If we drop down to the right of it, we'll find another itemized soul. After picking it up, we should continue following the blue lights until we reach a ladder. Going down the ladder is essentially the end of the annoying part. we no longer need the skull lantern. The tunnel on our right was sealed until we placed the Lord vessel on the Firelink altar. Entering it now triggers the invasion of Black Phantom Paladin Leeroy. We need to be human to trigger this invasion. Killing him will give us his weapon and shield, and both are required for the Knight's Honor achievement. Be careful though, he can use Wrath of the Gods and easily blow you off the ledge. As usual, backstabs work well. Now I'll switch to my bow and then safe quit and kill the Crystal Lizard. We should keep going down this path. At certain points, a bone tower will sprout from the ground, and this time we'll use either the longbow or the S-stock, since we need to conserve our spells, or rather miracles and pyromancies. There are a few of those, and at the end of the path there are a couple of giant skeletons. The problem is that one is an archer, so I had to use the longbow here to kill this bone tower. Unfortunately, I didn't realize there was a bone tower behind me as well, and that nearly killed me. Eventually I managed to kill both, and then just run past the couple of giant skeletons. After entering this cave, I dropped left to pick up another itemized soul, and then safe quit to drop the giant skeleton's aggro. There are several pinwheels in this cave, but they're easy to deal with, just like the boss was. They also have a good chance to drop the other two masks, not that it matters. The annoying thing is that the cave is full of baby skeletons. They deal quite a lot of damage and spawn infinitely. They're also incredibly difficult to kill with the S-stock. I got one of the masks to drop, but unfortunately it was another Mask of the Mother. Anyway, I eventually killed all the pinwheels and then picked up another white Titanite chunk, another itemized soul left of the boss arena entrance, and finally a white Titanite slab. Picking up the white Titanite slab is important. We'll need it to upgrade our Divine S-stock to +10. We'll do it not because we'll keep using it, but because it unlocks an achievement. This isn't the only way to get one. You could farm the pinwheels here, or get one from the DLC, but there's no reason not to pick it up now. Okay, this here is the itemized soul. And if we drop here, we'll find the white Titanite slab. And with that, we are officially done with the area. All that's left is starting the boss fight. Nito isn't a difficult fight, but there are a couple of things to keep in mind. First, we should heal after the drop. Then wait for the 4 small skeletons to appear. We need to kill them with our divine weapon to prevent Nito from reanimating them. The other thing to watch for is his Gravelord's dance attack. He screams before he does it, but it's still hard for me to time the dodge. Anyway, this is the only attack that can really hurt us. Other than that, we should just keep attacking him with miracles and pyromancies. and he'll die eventually. Also, watch for his AoE blast. Try not to get cornered, and definitely don't go here. If you need to avoid him, take the right path. There are 3 giant skeletons here, and even if we kill them with lightning spears, Nito will reanimate them. Still, even if that happens, we should just keep attacking Nito, and it won't take long before he dies. This is his AoE blast, by the way. It covers a huge area, so make sure you're as far away as possible when he does it. His sword swings have a long reach, but they don't deal too much damage. And that's it. That's the entire Nito fight. Like I said, it's not really difficult, and it's far easier than making your way through the Tomb of the Giants. The only thing left here is picking up Paladin Leeroy's armor set. It only appears if we defeated his Black Phantom. That's it. I will just make sure the skeletons didn't drop anything, and then I will light the bonfire and return to Firelink Shrine. Now that we've killed Nito, we have 2 of the 4 souls required to fill the Lord Vessel. When I return to Firelink Shrine, I will switch back to my usual loadout, re-equip the longbow, and attune the Heal Miracle and Power Within Pyromancy. I'll leave Great Combustion slotted, since there's nothing better to use. I think this is a good place to end today's episode. In the next episode, we'll do some upgrading, some humanity farming, and go on a shopping spree for miracles. Then we'll return to Anor Londo. Thank you for watching this video, and if it was helpful to you, I would very much appreciate it if you could press the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and leave a comment down below.